Yeah, I think he was just waffling personally. He hasn't shown any intention from what he said. Uh, um, in order to get this up and running. And if he does know a friend that has a gun range, that would have been even more access to get it up and running very quickly. Like, he wouldn't have to go through certain channels, or he'll know the avenues to go through to get it set up already. So, yeah, I think it was just like said in jest or something like that. Can't take that guy seriously. He's a comedian. So I expect a lot of things that he's going to say might be taken as comedy, dry humor, or, something like that. Can't take my guy seriously yet.
I don't know why y'all are waiting. Jay's here contemplating the whole entire situation, like rocking back and forth, like William done open up a gun range and he ain't done it yet. Our good sis was really considering what's going on. She said, "Oh my god, it's a travesty." Yes, Glenn, thank you.
Nah, man. It's, like I said, if your buddy has half the job already done, it's easy to go ahead and put your name onto it, and y'all work out a building. And yo, let me you. He has like almost 75% of the business in place. You just have to now go through people and women. And how unique do you think this business is going to be? A gun range just for African American women. Like, you didn't think this thing through. Like, what are you gonna make it special about having a gun range just for African American women? Because you said, I'm gonna make a gun range for Black women. Well, that's like a good idea. Like, did you write this out? Business plan this out? How many Black women in the area? The demographic where you live at? You're are you you didn't do none of this stuff, but I'm just gonna. It's a good idea. It didn't make any sense to me. Like, if I'm women of color, so if I'm looking at this, I'm opening a gun range up for everybody because I want everybody to come shoot. Right, I want everybody to spend their money right there in this place, not just a certain demographic or type people. But where are you gonna open at? What neighborhood are you opening in? What community center? What where are you going at? So I needed some more context and detail on why William thought this was a great idea. It might work there. I don't know, right? It may be a great idea. It might be a market for it. But if your buddy has all this in place, like, you should be like, yo, we started a business like last month. We're making money in this area. We're making money in this realm. Not, and I'm thinking about doing this. And I think that was one of the ladies said, like, he's all over the place. Like, he's all over the place. He's not sure what he's trying to do or where he's at. So it should be in his mind it sounded right, but it came out so wrong. He should have came out, you know what, me and my buddy, we're close to this gun range where we open up for women of color. We teaching them how to be safe, teaching them how to train, teaching them how to prepare, teaching them how to shoot different type of weapons, how to protect themselves just in case the home invasion. He could have went through and made it as seamless if he was prepared. Not just we open up the gun range. What are you going to do with this? Why are you doing this? We're doing it for young girls, teaching them how to get their concealed weapons permit, how to handle and change a gun, single mothers, things of that nature. But he didn't run through the whole plan as he should have.
Everything that Glenn just said, because I was gonna say a man without a plan is just terrible. Okay, a man with a plan is so sexy. Y'all hear me one more time, men out there? A man with a plan is so sexy. I need your plan to be on point, like from start to finish. This man had no start or a finish. He said he got a friend of a friend of a friend who has a friend that knows who has a gun range. Okay, you don't even have your connections down. You all over the place. But the fact that your background is in the army, military, something like this, you should have so many leads right now. Your money should be ready invested. You should at least have your business plan written up. You done invested in some few things. One thing Elle said the other night on my thing, she was like, even have a bullet shop. Just sell the ammo, just to start. I like all the other ideas. Look, Glenn got more ideas for your plan than you do. Like, why? You need to call Glenn up, baby. Call Glenn, okay? Put Glenn on the business plan with you. Let him write it up for you. Go ahead, pay him. But get your plan in order. And that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, he didn't plan for the outfit too well, so we can't expect him to plan for the business too well either. So there's that.
Listen, Jay, the way you leaned in remind me of Koshia like that and talked about that plan. So I just need you to run that back. Okay. I'm gonna go write me up a plan right now. We get me a good 30, 60, 90 plan going. Yeah, listen, I think, listen, a jack of all trades is a master of none. We have that, that age old expression. And unfortunately, I think William is exemplifying that, he's a little bit all over the place. And he just needs to get some stability, to quote Aries. He just needs to be stable. Pick a lane, find what you want to do, and just execute. And definitely don't come on ready to love, because you need to have a plan, because you want to leverage them to get exposed. But if your plan is all over the place, you fitting to get roasted and toasted all across social media. So, bro, I pity him right now.
I think that he needs a plan, or excuse me, William, he needs a plan, or I would have even taken a really good lie. Because what he's gonna look like is that he's suffering from Peter Pan syndrome, and it's the never want to grow up, never really have a job. And I know, especially myself, and in this climate, women are scared to date men with potential. So if he's coming with all of these potential ideas, half-lived careers, a little bit over here, a little bit over there, they're not going to see stability. And I heard a lot of women talk about the need for stability. A lot of these women have kids. He has kids of his own. So I think that even though we're just picking on this idea, and I do want to point out, you're in Texas. You don't, baby, it's so oversaturated. It's one on every corner. There's a gun range on every corner. You can go get a gun at your local Walmart with an ID. Like, Texas is gun city. So women, and they need that. I knew a girl, they got guns ever since they were 11 and 12, and they stand by the Bible. So there's really no need for what he was proposing. Now, I would even, maybe it's a date idea or something like that, but I don't think it should have been presented as a business idea per se, because it just made him look, I don't know, just a little unstable, as far as what women traditionally will look for in a partner. So I think he's suffering from the Peter Pan, and we'll see if he leave Never Never Land.
Ooh, good points. Any other thoughts? Any other thoughts on the William situation, and not necessarily, bringing his full potential to the table? I mean, I personally did think, I felt like he was trying to score points personally, like, because you are trying to date black women in this environment. So telling a black woman that, hey, I'm trying to open up a gun store range, for you guys, black women to come in, and like, you're trying to impress people, right? But if you're going to try to impress people, I need you to have the evidence to back it up with, right? Otherwise, it's an empty dream.